Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Motel Creations exclusive Masters of the Universe Origins Camo Con. And before we get into the meat and taters of this review, moving Mr. Camo Con out of the way for a brief moment here, let's take a look-see about the front and the back of the shipper box. That's enough of that. Let's now open the shipper box and take a look-see at our MOTU Origins card inside. Now, I have to tell you, normally I trash these things, but I can't just chuck this box, man, like I normally would for most retail release figures or non-exclusive figures or just figures with inferior packaging, because this is really nice. This is a Mythic Legion style box, which we're going to talk more about that in a moment here. But it's got a nice little slip cover deal going on, so you can just slide the bubble right off of the cardboard. It's not taped or anything. Setting this off to the side for a moment. And you get this really awesome card, which is really heavy cardstock. It's not going to ding or nick or scratch really easily. You could fold it out like so, like that. Got all this going on here. Then on the back, you basically get an ad for everything we're probably going to get in the next 2 years in comic book form. Really nice display, man. I can't just trash this. This is really nice. That said, Camo Con did actually cost, excuse me while I fidget with this box here. He did actually cost the same as a Mythic Legions did like 2 years ago. Was it pre-Alithia Wave? I think the Alithia figures were still $35 if I'm not mistaken, before tax and shipping, of course. So good old Camo Con here cost as much as good mascot of the channel, Brother Mandibulus, and I'm kind of not okay with that, but I don't feel ripped off either, so I'm conflicted. Said if I move him back there for a minute, we're actually going to adjust the camera, so bear with me for a moment. There we go. I'm going to push it up like so. Right up on him. Maybe that's a little too far. You know what, I don't care. Getting up close and personal with Origins is how we rock here at Overlord Productions. And if you don't like that, that's just too bad. Get your own channel. That said, he does come with a couple of weapons. These right here. He's got this very Halloween-looking blaster pistol. I mean, look at that. It's as orange as a freaking jack-o'-lantern, for crying out loud. And then, on the other end of the holiday spectrum, he has this Vac Metal Green Club, which looks like it should go with that Father Christmas figure I took a look at from Four Horsemen's Figura Obscura line, like almost 2 weeks ago now. But very, very shiny. You're going to want to heat that claw hand up to put this in there so you don't chip the flaking, or you don't chip the Vac Metal off. Chipping it off is called flaking, you dingus. Either way, really cool accessories. I dig those. He also comes with a pair of grip hands, like regular human grip hands, because he's got the titty twisters of doom when you open them up. But they got the thumbs up going on. That's cool. The weapons do, of course. Let me use the gun. That's easier. They do, of course, fit in there. Okay, this gun kind of sucks in here because this thumb pushes on it, although it kind of feels like the handle's a bit longer. But it does work better with the claw hands, in my opinion. Then we also get the regular Cobra Khan head and an effect piece, which you can use in either head, but I'm going to demonstrate it here. You can plug this in and make it look like he is spitting his venom, which is pretty cool. It's a little bit looser in the hooded head. It's a little bit easier to get in that one, but you can use it on this one as well, which is the one that comes with the standard release. I don't believe this hooded head comes with any version of this figure other than this one. So taking a closer look at the man of the hour, Camo Con. Now, for those of you not in the know, Camo Con is a foreign variant, I believe, from the original He-Man and the Masters of the Universe toy line from the 1980s. Very rare, worth mucho dinero on the secondary. And no, I do not have that handy for comparison, nor do I have the first release of Cobra Con in this line, because unlike everyone else on planet Earth, my pre-orders from Big Bad Toy Store didn't process around Halloween, so I'm stuck waiting for the lame-o English versions of those figures, which I guess I'm going to have to share my comics with a couple of buddies, because, well, the ones they got didn't come with comics with text in them, and that's kind of lame, so I'll be sure to spread the wealth when the time comes. But I do have a size comparison planned, if I can talk here, but you're just going to have to stay tuned and find out what that is. That said, I can say wholeheartedly that this figure exceeded my expectations because this hooded head does not look freaking stupid on this figure. When I first saw this, these looked like elephant ears, clown hair, you name it. I thought it looked ridiculous. And while I do think it should go down to about here on his back, maybe even between here and here, where it ends and where I'd like it to end, it looks a lot better in hand than it did in the promo images, which Mattel's promo images, I think you got to get a better photographer, man. Call me. I'm here. Nobody gives me props for crap, so, you know, I'll do it for free. Just saying. But either way, as far as articulation on this guy goes, he's got the double ball peg in the head, and this head is easy to swap out with the other one, if you so choose. It is a little tight, but you can do it. There you go. There he is. And I should be worth noting, this one has a little bit of the neck on it, so that's interesting. Probably to compensate for the hood so it doesn't warp. But he looks good either way. That said, though, I'm probably going to display him with the hooded head, because the standard release, at least as far as I know, does not come with this. So, yeah, I like having the different head options, and I like having the different heads on display. So, this one is no exception to that. That said, his arms do go out to the side about a right angle to the body. They do rotate forward and back. Does have a hinge in the elbow, as well as rotation. He's got hinge in the claw, and he does have the proper hinge for holding weapons because of that. And that is fantastic, because it took us forever to get He-Man figures with that hinge. That said, they do rotate. They do pop out quite easily, like so. I'm not going to swap the regular hands on, because that defeats the purpose of Camo Con. He was released with the Titty Twisters of Doom, therefore he will be displayed with the Titty Twisters of Doom, despite the fact that it may not be good for the vac metal on the club. That said, he does have a waist twist. It works just fine. He's got the T-jointed hips that work just fine. Forward and back, nice and tight. This Neon Mine's a little loose. It's got the detents in there, but it's just not that great. And as you can see, it just kind of goes whoop. So that kind of sucks. I thought we were past having web store issues with these, but it is what it is. It does have a swivel there as well. That said, this Neon Mine was stuck, and now that I got it to move, it is pretty much as loose as the other one. So that kind of blows. I'm not gonna lie, that kind of sucks, but that could just be mine. And it does feel like this one straightens out more than this one. Am I tripping? Are they the same? They're probably the same. I'm probably just tripping. That or it's off by like a millimeter. My OCD can't handle it. That said, he does have a boot cut, as well as a hinge in the foot, which again is tighter on this side than it is on this one. Although, it's not terrible. He does also have a rocker and peg holes at the bottom of the feet, which on mine you may want to utilize the stand, but yours probably won't have those problems. That said, this shoulder is nice and tight. I like that. But getting the weapons in his hand, the gun is pretty easy. If I can find it, where'd I put it? There it is. Just slide it in like so and clip it in there. There you go. Works fine. And then as far as this club goes, I'm going to do this on cam. Hopefully I don't scratch this thing to heck doing this, because I've widened out the claw having it in there all night. Eh. There you go. I'm not going to turn it. I'm not going to twist it. I'm going to heat it up before I do that. But there you go. There he is with his Halloween and Christmas weapons. Looking pretty sweet. So, yeah. Camo Con. A really cool figure. I would like to get the regular one at some point. I'm still waiting on my pre-order to show up. So, I guess time will tell with that one, I guess. My King Hiss is processing, though, so that's interesting. That said, though, I do really like this figure, and I think he's going to be a contender for one of my top origins of the year. Probably not the top origin. I think that still goes to 2000X Skeletor, maybe? Probably leaning more towards that. Him, Clawful, or Mantenna, because I have nostalgia for all three of those. And Camo Con, while he is cool, I never had the vintage Camo Con. I do have a vintage Cobra Con, though. But of course, like all my vintage MOTU stuff, it's in storage. So again, don't have that for comparison, but I do have something really fun. So it's not just Brother Mandibulus and the Nkoi 11 Spawn, the infamous Nkoi 11 Spawn. We're going to make it interesting and maybe funny. Funny to me anyways, and really, that's all I care about. I'm just kidding. I care about you guys too, but I did it more so for my amusement, we'll say. So before this review drags on any longer than it already has, so I'll move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Camo Con alongside the other members of Titty Twisters Incorporated, at least as far as the MOTU Origins line is concerned. First up, we have Clawful, fan favorite of yours truly, as well as Buzz Off, and as you can see, they all share the same Titty Twister claw hands, and I think that is super duper fun and makes Camo Con different from the other Snake Men in this line, which at this current time I do not have. A lone tear for my pre-order that hasn't shown up yet. And last but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythical Agents, Brother Mandibulus, Lemon Spawn, as usual, towers over everyone, and seeing good old Al Simmons next to a snake guy makes me really want a Sandskar from McFarlane Toys. Well, an updated one anyways. I have the old one, but a new one would be freaking sweet. So with that being said, time to wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and even though I'm still a bit skeptical on the aesthetic of this hooded head here, I could say wholeheartedly that good old Camo Con exceeded all expectations I had prior to receiving this figure from the fine folks over at Motel. I really like how this guy came out, and even though I'm not 100% on the price, I mean, again, he did cost as much as Brother Mandibulus, mascot of the channel, 2 years ago. I mean, that's kind of crazy. I do still really like this figure, and he is definitely going to be a contender for one of my top 10 MOTU Origins of 2022. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when, again, this guy cost as much as a Mythic Legions did 2 years ago. Is that crazy or what? Maybe I'm tripping. But with that being said, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.